A familiar face was signed to the Minnesota Vikings today after the emergency surgery Jordan Hicks had after the Saints game. And that, of course, is former Minnesota Vikings first-round pick
Let's
Anthony Barr.
go.
From Adam Schefter, with linebacker Jordan Hicks hurt, the Vikings are planning to re-sign four-time Pro Bowl linebacker Anthony Barr. Barr spent 8 seasons in Minnesota after becoming the Vikings' first-round pick in 2014. Obviously, Anthony Barr was the first pick of the Mike Zimmer era.
hmm
And he played some solid seasons here. I think it's weird because I feel like prime Anthony Barr would have been a perfect fit for the Flores defense, because that the one hope everybody had with Anthony Barr was that he eventually he'd been used as more of like that outside linebacker, pass rusher, kind of like we have with Daniil Hunter and
Right.
DJ Wan and Marcus Davenport. Now, unfortunately, he was always just used as a kind of a normal outside linebacker in this defense, playing against Eric Kendricks for all those years, but. Either way, solid veteran depth signing here, especially with the injury to Jordan Hicks. It's nice to have a guy. Obviously, doesn't know this defense, but knows the building. So it's going to be. I mean, it's a pretty low risk, potentially moderate reward signing. What are your thoughts on 55
Yeah.
and coming back home?
First, anybody who's watching this, please like the video. And if you like what you're seeing, please hit that subscribe button. I like it, man. I like it. I like anytime we go back and get like an old piece that we always really liked. And you're right. I mean, with Anthony Barr, we never used him the way he was supposed to be used ever since Mike Zimmer had him. So it is interesting. I mean, you're talking about a player that is still only 31 years old. It's not like he's completely past his, I guess you could say he's past his prime, but he's not like, there's a lot of linebackers in his at that age still in the league producing at a high level. So it'll be interesting to see with him coming in, if Brian Flores, if we can see a little bit of that blitz out of him. I don't know how much we expect him to play, but I really like the move, because you take a guy, you lose Jordan Hicks, you lose that veteran presence that we always talk about in that young linebacker room, and you bring a guy like Anthony Barr in, who not only brings that veteran presence in, but he already has the chemistry with a lot of these players. And I mean, you're talking like our defense. That's one thing about Mike Zimmer's defense and the pieces on there with Harrison Smith, Eric Kendricks, Daniil Hunter, Everson Griffin. I mean, we can go on and on and on. It's just how close they were as a group, and he's friends with them. So I mean, at the same time, you're bringing in a player that might even boost the morale that's already pretty high, but still boost this morale of the veteran players on this team. I'm sure Daniil Hunter and Harrison Smith are ecstatic about this signing, and I really like it. Like you said, absolutely low risk. I'm sure it's probably veteran minimum as it gets, or whatever.
Yep.
And I mean, you get a guy that was a fan favorite. I mean, for some reason, I should have brought one more overlay here with Aaron Rodgers on the ground and his helmet partially off or whatever. But hey, we're not going there. Aaron Rodgers plays for the Jets now, whatever. But I mean, we all know Aaron Rodgers ran into or walked into a bar. But yeah, Anthony, I don't know. It's cool. It's cool. I like when we do this. It's a veteran player, something we need with Hicks going down, and it's a fan favorite player at the same time. So
for sure,
you like those moves. This is funny because it's such a Mike Zimmer. That's what's funny about KOC, because it's such a Mike Zimmer thing to do, is to go get these old players. But KOC is going back and grabbing these players that are from Mike Zimmer era. He didn't have anything to do with KOC, and he did that with Sean Mannion as well, which is interesting.
For sure. But of course, obviously, the injury does make you a little bit concerned about the Jordan Hicks thing, because it sounded kind of like a freak thing where he hurt his shin, came out for a play, went back in, was hobbling around a little bit, took him out. He didn't play. I believe he sat the rest of the game. And then afterwards, Kevin O'Connell said today that the training staff kind of noticed the swelling, and they kind of felt like, all right, this is pretty serious. We should get him to a hospital. They had to have the emergency surgery to kind of alleviate some of the swelling. So it does make you a little bit concerned, I guess. Hopefully it's, something that's just going to take a few weeks to heal. He'll be back within the next month. Maybe after the bye, I guess that's probably best case scenario here. But Kevin O'Connell also did say that Ivan Pace Jr. will handle the green dot. But again, Anthony Barr, I mean, at the very least, if he doesn't play a ton, no, he doesn't know this defense. He knows, like you said, he knows a few of the players, doesn't know them all. But he brings in a guy with a ton of experience. And if you're going to be expecting more out of Ivan Pace and Asamoah, I mean, Hicks will still be around, right? And you're bringing in a guy with almost 10 years of NFL experience, who will be able to install some of that wisdom on the younger guys. And if I remember right, did Anthony Barr have the green dot when he was?
I think he did at times. I think so, because it took a while before I think Kendricks got it.
Yeah, I think so. But either way, you're bringing in a guy with a ton of veteran presence, a lot of wisdom to share. And like you said, he's not 31. Yes, he's past his prime, but I I think Anthony Barr still has a little bit left in the tank, especially within this defense. So I think it's going to be kind of fun. Familiar face at the end of the day, like we said, low risk. Obviously, we don't have the contract numbers. I don't even know if it's actually official yet, but it sounds like it will be by the end of the evening. But anyway, Anthony Barr back with the Minnesota Vikings. Let us know your thoughts down in the comment section. I'll see you guys next time right here on the GG Sports Podcast.
Let's go Vikes.